Before we begin, pause for a moment. Tell us where in the world you're joining from right now. Type it into the comments, your city, your time zone, the place on earth where your feet are standing. Because tonight, we are leaving Earth behind. The camera of your mind drifts upward, through clouds, through orbit, through the silence where satellites spin, and further still, beyond the tug of Earth's blue marble, past the red deserts of Mars, across the frozen belt where Jupiter wanes. There it is, Saturn, a giant banded god of storms, wrapped in its impossible rings. And circling just beyond, Titan, hazy, golden alien. A world with seas of methane and skies thick with orange smog. And somewhere inside a fragile dome pressed against the frozen surface, a child cries. Not just any child, the first child ever born here. The first human born on Titan. Imagine it. Your story begins not with Earth's sunlight, but with a filtered glow. Not with oceans of salt water, but with methane gas you can never touch. Your first lullabies are not birdsong or breezes, but the hum of machines keeping you alive. You're not just a baby. You are a milestone, a question answered. Can humans not only survive, but be born, grow, and thrive beyond Earth? Your very existence whispers, yes. The colony is small, maybe 100 settlers, scientists, engineers, dreamers who left Earth decades ago, searching for a future among Saturn's moons. They watched your birth with tears in their eyes, not just because a baby had arrived, but because your arrival meant humanity's roots had truly pierced alien soil. No longer visitors, no longer temporary, but settlers, planting not just crops, but generations. And yes, you, tiny, fragile, breathing your first, are their proof. For you, Earth is a myth, a place of gravity too strong for your bones, sunlight too bright for your eyes. You will grow up beneath Titan's orange sky, your muscles molded by lighter gravity, your mind shaped by horizons earthborn humans can't imagine. And yet, you are still human, still flesh and blood, still the echo of every ancestor who survived storms, wars, plagues, and voyages across oceans. Only now the ocean is not water, but methane, and the voyage is not across seas, but across stars. This is your story. Story of the first human born on Titan. A life lived in the borderland between miracle and experiment. A life where every step you take is history. A life that asks, what does it mean to be human when home is no longer Earth? Birth under the orange sky. It begins with a cry, not under the light of a sun rising over blue oceans, but under the dim glow of artificial lamps in a sealed dome. Your cry pierces the recycled air, bouncing off walls of steel and glass. Outside, Titan's sky swirls, a dense haze of nitrogen, orange, and heavy. Saturn looms above like a god carved in gas, its rings gleaming across the sky. But you do not see it yet. Your eyes are closed. Your body is wrapped, trembling in the warmth of hands gloved not just for sterility, but for history. Because you are not just a child, you are the first. Your mother, fragile from years under low gravity, holds you close. Her arms are thinner than earthborn arms might be, her bones lighter, her heartbeat steady but strained. Yet, in this moment, she is not just a woman. She is the vessel of a miracle. The settlers gather behind glass, faces lined with fatigue and awe. They are engineers, geologists, biologists, pilots. They left Earth to build a home here, carving out a fragile existence from methane seas and nitrogen skies. They have fought leaks, storms, shortages. They have buried friends in Titan's soil. And now they see you. Some press their hands to the glass. Some whisper prayers. Some simply close their eyes and weep. Because you are not just a baby. You are their future. On Earth, babies are born every second. The miracle of life has become almost ordinary there. But here, this birth is a gamble against physics itself. Titan's gravity pulls at you differently, softer, gentler. The atmospheric pressure outside could crush lungs not trained to breathe. The cold is so deep it freezes methane into lakes. Every instinct of nature screams, "This is not a place for you." And yet, here you are, breathing, alive. Your body will adapt. Your bones will grow differently, less dense than Earth's children. Your chest will expand slightly more, learning to thrive in an environment that would suffocate unprepared lungs. Your eyes will strain under artificial lights but whiten in Titan's dim haze. You will exactly never be like Earth-born humans. You are something new. The settlers name you not only as a child, but as a symbol. Some whisper myths into your skin, comparing you to Prometheus, bringing fire to humanity. Others call you Titan's dawn, the proof that humanity can truly root itself among the stars. Your name, whatever it is, becomes more than a label. It becomes a story. And every story begins with a first chapter. You are theirs. The weight of low gravity. You are learning to walk. On Earth, a child takes hesitant steps, pulled always downward by the firm hand of gravity. Every stumble is a battle with weight. Every fall is a reminder that the earth claims its own. But here, on Titan, falling feels different. There is no heavy crash, no bruising impact. You drift downward, as though the world itself is reluctant to hurt you. Your body is lighter, your steps springier. Gravity here is only a whisper, 1/7 of Earth's. For you, the ground is not an anchor, it is a suggestion. At first, the adults marvel. You toddle earlier, steadier than Earth children might. Your legs wobble, yes, but when you topple, it is with grace, like a slow motion tumble. You bounce softly, giggling as if the world is made of pillows. They take notes. Every step you take is logged, compared, studied. For the scientists, you are not just a child. You are data, proof, experiment. And for your parents, for the settlers watching from behind glass, it is simply a miracle. Life adapting, life thriving. Your body begins to grow in strange new ways. Bones stretch longer, thinner, muscles coil differently. Your spine carries you tall but fragile. If you ever set foot on Earth, its gravity would crush you with exhaustion. Your bones might bend. Your heart might struggle to pump. But here, on Titan, you are perfect. You belong. Play is different here. You cannot run outside. The methane air would suffocate you instantly. The cold would freeze your breath. So you play in wide domes, padded with soft flooring and walls glowing with artificial light. Other children chase you through hydroponic gardens, laughter echoing among the green. Sometimes you leap higher than any Earth child could, your body arcing in graceful slow motion. You're not bound to the ground, you are closer to flight. Others call it gliding. You push off with both feet and drift meters across the dome, arms outstretched, pretending to be one of the ringed planet's moons suspended in orbit. For a moment, you believe you are. But adaptation carries shadows too. Your bones, light and hollow, ache during growth spurts. Your joints protest as they stretch. Doctors prescribe calcium and engineered supplements, but they do not yet know what long years in low gravity will do to a Titan-born body. You are the first trial. Every bruise, every ache, every skipped heartbeat, monitored, logged, studied. You do not yet realize, but you are carrying a burden heavier than Titan's gravity could ever be. The burden of being president. One day, you fell ill. Your chest feels tight, your breath shallow. The medics rush you into the clinic. On Earth, it might be a routine childhood sickness, but here, it is a catastrophe. Because if you, the first Titan born, cannot survive a simple illness, what does that mean for the future? You lie in pressurized bed, watching Saturn's rings shimmer faintly through the observation window. Doctors hover with tense eyes. Your parents grip each other's hands until their knuckles pale. And then, relief, you recover. Your small lungs adjust. Your fever breaks. Your breath evens out. The settlers celebrate as if they themselves have survived, because in a way, they have. Your survival is theirs. The world beyond windows. Your world begins with glass, thick, reinforced, frost-lined panes that stand between you and everything outside. To you, childhood is not meadows or streets. It is windows. Always windows. Through them, you glimpse a horizon no human child has ever called home. An endless gaze of orange, thick as smoke, blanketing a land that seems both familiar and alien. Hills roll like dunes, but are carved of ice and hydrocarbons, not sand. Lakes glisten dark, and still their surfaces slick with liquid methane. And above it all, Saturn. Not a picture, not a telescope, but there looming in your sky. Its rings cut the heavens like a scar of light. Sometimes pale, sometimes dazzling, sometimes hidden by storm, but always there, always watching. The adults say you are lucky that on Earth, Saturn is only ever a point of light in the night sky. Here, it is a constant companion, your cradle, your ceiling, your cathedral. You press your forehead to the glass, small palms leaving prints. You whisper to the rings as if they could hear you. And perhaps in some way they do. Because when you dream, it is not of earth skies, blue and sharp, but of these pale arcs glowing across the horizon. The settlers take you often to the observation deck, not just to teach, but to remind themselves why they came. Children sit cross-legged on the floor, while an elder points with a gloved finger. The settlers decorate the colony with plants to soften the walls. Hydroponic gardens glow under artificial light. Vines creep along support beams. Your favorite spot is where tomatoes bloom in red clusters, smelling faintly of soil and sun. It is the closest thing to earth you will ever know. Sometimes you lie among them, pretending the hum of machines is the buzz of insects, pretending the recycled air is a breeze, pretending the glass overhead is a sky without walls. But always, when you open your eyes, the rings return. They remind you this is not Earth. This is Titan. As you grow older, you start to notice the silence of the world outside. On Earth, children are told of crashing waves, wind in the trees, the chatter of birds. But here, outside the dome, there is no sound, only stars. Even Titan's seas do not roar. They lap in eerie quiet, dense air muffling their voices. You press your ear to the window sometimes, hoping for a whisper. But silence answers, always silence. One night, a methane storm sweeps across the colony. The sky darkens, the haze thickens, lighting crackles in colors no earth child has ever seen. Blue, violet, strange and furious. You stand at the window, heart pounding. Outside, waves rise on Kraken Mare, slapping against ice cliffs and shadows. For the first time, Titan feels alive. The settlers grow anxious. Alarms echo through the dome. But you are captivated. The storm is not danger to you. It is wonder. It is the voice of the world you were born to. And you whisper into the glass, I am yours. Still, the windows are a wound you cannot close. They remind you of what is possible and what is forbidden. The adults say, patience, someday you will walk outside in a suit. But even then, they warn, you will not touch. You will only step within armor, your skin still a stranger to this birth world. So you learn to live with longing, to carry it like extra weight in your bones, to let it sharpen your imagination, stretch your mind, and slowly you realize perhaps windows are not prisons after all. Perhaps they are invitations. Through glass, you glimpse the vastness of your world. Through glass, you learn longing. And longing is a kind of fuel. It drives you to imagine what lies beyond. It pushes you to dream of what humanity might yet become. You are the first child born on Titan. Your life is already divided, inside and outside, safety and silence, glass and sky. But one truth remains. Though the windows stand between you and the world, they also remind you that the world is there, waiting, and someday you will step into it. Learning to breathe. Breathing is the first thing you learn as a newborn. On Earth, it is instinct. Here on Titan, it is ritual. Inside the dome, air is a gift carefully engineered, scrubbed, recycled, balanced with precision. Outside, there is nothing for you. Titan's air is nitrogen and methane, too cold, too thick, too toxic. A single breath would freeze your lungs, collapse your chest, silence you forever. So, from childhood, you are taught. Breathing is not automatic. Breathing is survival. Your training begins early. The education dome becomes a classroom of helmets and tanks. Children sit in rows, small faces pressed into transparent visors. Seal, lock, test. The instructor's voice is calm, rhythmic, almost like prayer. You learn the sequence the way Earth children learn nursery rhymes. Press the helmet ring until it clicks. Check the oxygen gauge. Exhale once, hard, to hear the hiss. If you hear silence, you panic. If you hear hiss, you survive. At first, the suit feels like a cage. Bulky, heavy, your limbs trapped in layers of insulation. But in Titan's weak gravity, the weight vanishes. You shuffle, then leap, then stumble across training floors. Other children laugh as they bounce awkwardly, helmets fogging with breath. But beneath the play, there is reverence, because each of you knows one day the difference between clumsy practice and perfect memory will mean life or death. Weeks pass and training deepens. You learn how to repair a cracked visor with emergency patches, how to find oxygen when your gauge runs low, how to guide yourself by Saturn's rings if lost in a storm. You dream of it at night, dream of walking endlessly across Titan's plains, the orange mist wrapping you like a shroud. Sometimes you wake in sweat, heart racing, convinced your helmet has failed. But each time you breathe, and the air is still there. The first time you walk near Kraken Mare, you feel your pulse in your fingertips. The sea lies before you, black and endless, methane waves lapping against frozen shores. No sound, no smell, just stillness. You kneel, scoop a fragment of ice, and hold it with your gloved hand. It sparkles faintly in Saturn's light. For a moment, you imagine holding water, holding earth. But it is not. It is Titan, alien, strange, yours. Back in the dome, you write in your logbook, "Today I breathed Titan's air, not with my lungs, but with my whole body, through glass and soot, through fear and silence, and I think it breathed me back." The burden of symbolism. You're still a child when you notice it. The way people look at you, not just with affection, not just with curiosity, but something heavier, expectation. On Titan, every settler carries responsibility. Some grow food in hydroponic towers. Some maintain oxygen scrubbers. Some map methane seas or repair reactor cores. But your task is unspoken. You are the proof. When you laugh, the colony breathes easier. When you stumble, whispers rise. Every cough is a headline in one thing. Every bruise a question. Is Titan safe for life? You are not simply yourself. You are the answer to a question older than rockets. Can humanity survive beyond Earth? And sometimes, when you catch your reflection in the glass, you wonder, am I a child or an experiment in human form. There are moments of pride, of course, when visitors arrive from Earth, rare but celebrated. They ask to meet you first. They shake your hand, tears in their eyes. You are the future, they whisper, as if blessing you. But pride is tangled with pressure, because if you are the future, what happens if you falter? What happens if you decide you want to be ordinary? In quiet moments, your parents remind you, you are more than a symbol. You are a child. They mean it. But you see the way their voices soften when they speak to you in public. You see the pride they carry like a lantern in the dark. And you realize, even for them, you are more than just yourself. The colony begins small rituals around you. On your birthdays, they gather not as a family, but as community. Everyone attends, not just friends. They bring offerings, seeds, crystals, fragments of tools, tokens of survival placed in your hands. It feels like ceremony, not celebration, as if your existence is sacred, as if you are less a child, more a shrine. One evening, you stand at the glass, Saturn's rings sprawling above, and you ask yourself, what if I fail them? What if your bones fracture? What if your lungs give out? What if you decide you do not want to be colony's emblem at all? The thought terrifies you because you realize the colony has staked not just survival but identity on your existence. If you are proof of their future, then your failure would be proof of their end. Love and loneliness. Adolescence arrives quietly, the way Titan's haze swallows light. One day, you are a child, content to leap through domes and scribble on glass. The next, you are restless, aching for something unnamed. On Earth, teenagers find themselves in crowds, schools bursting with hundreds, towns buzzing with noise. Here on Titan, you are surrounded by silence. The colony holds fewer than 200 souls. Every face is familiar. Every voice is known. There are no strangers, no anonymity, no one you can disappear into. And for you, the first Titan-born, loneliness has a sharper edge because no one is quite like you. Your peers are earthborn, even if raised here. Their bones remember gravity you have never felt. Their parents tell them stories of childhood rivers, summer storms, rain on rooftops. When they laugh together, it is a language you almost but never fully speak. You love them and they love you back, but there is a line drawn in silence. You are not one of them. You are other. You are the experiment, the symbol, the one born under Saturn's shadow. Love on Titan is complicated. The colony is small, bonds tightly woven. Everyone is family, and yet not. Romance blooms in corners, hidden but never truly private. Whispers travel fast. Secrets last hours, not years. You feel it for the first time during training. An older boy helping you adjust your suit straps. His hand lingers longer than necessary. You meet his eyes through the visor. For a moment, the world narrows to breath and silence. Later, you wonder, was it affection, curiosity, pity? Here, motives blur. You never know if people look at you as a person or as the first. At night, you lie awake in your bunk. The dome's hum fills the silence. You imagine Earth teenagers under open skies, holding hands in fields, kissing beneath stars not filtered through haze. For you, romance is theoretical. Every gesture feels weighted, watched, historical. If you fall in love, it is never just personal. It is a headline, a data point, a story for Earth to consume. And yet, desire blooms anyway. You crave touch, closeness, the simple comfort of being held. But intimacy here is fragile, always shadowed by fear. What if relationships fracture the colony's harmony? What if jealousy sparks resentment? On Titan, survival depends on unity. There is little room for heartbreak, so you learn to hold back. You smile, laugh, share meals, but part of you remains untouched. You are everyone's symbol, but no one's lover. Still, connection finds ways. There is a girl, sharp-eyed, quick to laugh, unafraid of silence. She walks beside you in the hydroponic gardens, brushing your hand with hers as though by accident. You share stories, she tells you, about her father's guitar. You tell her about your dreams of walking alone on Titan's plains. One evening, she leans close, her forehead resting lightly against yours. Through that simple touch, you feel more human than in all the ceremonies, all the celebrations. But even then, doubt lingers. Does she love you or the idea of you? The first, the symbol, the future. The question gnaws, and you never ask it aloud. Loneliness on Titan is not only emotional, it is physical. Your body, shaped by low gravity, feels alien even among your peers. Your bones are thinner, your chest broader, your muscles wiry and strange. When you look in the mirror, you wonder, would Earthborn find you beautiful or fragile? Would they see you as a human or something half evolved, half lost? You dream of Earth sometimes, of meeting someone who does not already know your name, of walking through a crowd unnoticed, free to be anonymous. On Titan, anonymity is impossible. You are always seen, always known, and yet rarely understood. Love and loneliness live side by side in the domes of Titan. One is a hunger, the other a shadow. Together, they shape you into something both tender and guarded. You are the first human born here. You long for connection, not as simple, but as self. And though intimacy is scarce, though loneliness walks with you like a twin, you carry the quiet hope that one day someone will not see the emblem, not the experiment, but simply you. Crisis in the colony. Life on Titan is fragile. You know this from childhood. Every breath borrowed, every harvest coaxed with machines and lights. But knowing is different from feeling. And the day crisis comes, you feel it in your bones. It begins with a sound, a hiss, sharp and wrong, echoing through the dome. Then alarms, red lights flashing against steel. The hum of life support faltering into stutter. A breach. The colony shudders with panic. Children are rushed into shelters. Engineers race toward airlocks, sealing doors, patching suits. You stand frozen at first, watching the haze of your breath swirl under emergency lighting. For a moment, fear grips you, not just for yourself, but for the weight you carry. If you fail here, if you are lost, what does that mean for Titan's future? Your parents pull you close, their eyes wide but steady. Breathe slow, they whisper. Stay calm. You obey. Because here, panic is death. The crisis is not small. A methane storm has ripped through one of the outer domes, tearing at supports, puncturing seals. Hydroponic towers bend under pressure. Crops, the fragile green heartbeat of the colony, are dying in minutes. Without them, oxygen falters. Without them, food dwindles. Every settler knows this is not just a leak. This is survival measured in hours. You watch through reinforced glass as the storm rages. Titan's winds swirl, orange haze thick as smoke. Lightning splitting the sky in violent arcs. Shards of ice whip through the air like knives. The breached dome groans, metal twisting under strain. You feel something rise in you. Not panic this time, something else. Resolve. You are Titan born. This is your world, and somehow you know you cannot stand idle. The adults rush into repair suits, voices sharp over comms. You beg to help. At first, they refuse. Too dangerous, stay inside. But then a systems engineer falters, her oxygen gauge failing. Another stumbles, overwhelmed by the storm. They need hands, they need courage, and you offer both. Your mother hesitates, fear in her eyes, but your father nods once. Let them try. Suit sealed, helmet locked, he stepped into the storm. The airlock opens with a roar. Titan swallows you. The wind is not like Earth's. It is heavier, denser, pressing against you like water. Ice shards sting your suit, bouncing with hollow thuds. The sky flickers with alien lighting. Saturn's rings hidden in haze. For a moment, you feel impossibly small, but then your boots crunch on Titan's soil, and you remember this world is not your enemy, it is your birthright. The breach looms ahead, a jagged tear across the dome's frame. Air hisses into the storm, precious and irreplaceable. Engineers fight to patch it with polymer sheets, but the wind tears them free. Every second, the colony bleeds life. You throw yourself into the work, hands shaking. You grip the repair kit, pressing patches into place, sealing with adhesive that smokes in the cold. Your movements are clumsy, but desperation steadies you. Others glance your way, surprise flashing in their eyes. The first Titan born, risking everything. Not symbol, not experiment, comrade. Minutes stretch like hours. Your oxygen gauge tips lower, your arms ache, bones light but muscles trembling with effort. Inside your helmet, your breath fogs, heart hammering in your ears. Finally, the last patch holds. The hiss slows. The dome shudders, then steadies. Life preserved, if only just. Back inside, helmets lift, air rushes back into lungs. Colony erupts in cheers, relief breaking like a wave. Your parents embrace you, tears streaking their faces. Others clap your shoulders, their eyes shining not with expectation but with respect. For the first time, you feel it. You are not just their symbol, you are their equal. You are one of them. Later, when silence returns, you sit alone at the observation window. The storm has passed. Titan lies still again. Methane sees reflecting faint light. You press your hand to the glass, feeling the echo of your heartbeat in your palm. You whisper, "This is my world, and I will fight for it." Crisis on Titan is never far. Every storm, every breach, every flicker of failure is a reminder of fragility. It is also a reminder of strength. In that moment, you were not an emblem, not a burden, not the forest. You were human, raw, afraid, determined. And in the silence that follows, you understand. Titan may test you, but it has also claimed you. You are not Earth's child anymore. You are Titan's. Becoming the bridge. Adulthood finds you the way dawn finds Titan. Slow, filtered, patient. You are no longer the small figure pressed to windows. You are tall in Titan's low gravity, shoulders carrying a strength that doesn't show as bulk but as stamina, the endurance to hold two worlds inside one heart. And somewhere between one Saturn eclipse and the next, you stop asking whether you belong and start asking what you can build. You apprentice in systems first, oxygen loops, hydroponic, nutrient balance, the mutter and sigh of pumps. Titan has raised you on the lullaby of machinery. Now you learn to keep the song in tune. You memorize failure states, drill repair procedures with eyes closed. Emergency seals, polymer cements, battery runtime under storm load. Your hands carry them like old prayers. Then you ask for more. You're not asking to operate the colony, your mentor says, eyebrow arched. You're asking to redesign it. I'm asking to make it kinder, you answer, to people who will be born after me. The room softens. Engineers are practical creatures, but even practicality bows to a blueprint with a pulse. Your first proposal is audacious and simple. A biome for gravity training. Not Earth's full weight, but a tunable field that lets Titan-born bodies practice bearing more than Titan asks of them. Not to abandon your home, but to expand your options. To keep the door to Earth cracked open, even if only for a few. There are debates, cost curves, power budgets, ethical notes about reshaping bodies for a world that did not shape you. And then the vote passes. You stand in the new chamber the night it hums alive, coils whispering, actuators warming. When the field settles, your legs feel suddenly heavy, your heart working harder, breath thickening. You take 3 steps, then 5, then 10. It is not graceful, it is not easy, but it is yours. Outside the window, Saturn's rings glow like silent applause. The second bridge of your life arrives like déjà vu and finds you ready. A microfracture spiders across a viewport in the algae bay. Hair thin but hungry. Sensors chirp. You're already moving. Glove seals, patch kit, 2 runners behind you. Procedures used to feel like cages. Now they feel like choreography. You arrive. You anchor. You breathe in 5s. Your hands do not shake. Polymer spreads, a translucent petal upon glass. The fracture pauses as if remembering a different future. Then it stops becoming. Pressure stabilizes. The bay exhales. Someone laughs, a short, wild sound that startles everyone. You realize it's yours. Later in the mess, a mechanic taps your shoulder. You make the hard parts look ordinary, she says. That's leadership. You want to say, no, that's practice. But you hear what she's telling you. On Titan, leadership isn't a podium. It's a steady hand on a wall while a friend counts down from 10. Earth invites you down. The gravity chamber has let you carry 0.4 grams for 20 minutes, then 40, then an hour. Medical thinks you might tolerate a brief 1 gram descent with support. If you accept weeks of recovery, it would be a media storm. It would be science. It would be a walk upon the ground your ancestors called inevitable. You watch the proposal on your screen, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. Your own reflection floats in the glass, Saturn's quiet crown above your shoulder. You say no for now, not because you're afraid to fail, because you're not finished building a way for someone like you to say yes without breaking themselves to do it. Instead, you propose an exchange. Earthborn children may come to Titan for short residences, trailed by doctors, primed for low gravity, nested in the safety of domes. Let them learn how silence sounds. Let them plant mint whose flavor they will never forget. Let them watch rings at 3 in the morning and find the kind of homesicknesses that points forward instead of back. The exchange passes. The first cohort arrives, pale with wonder, clumsy as foals. You teach them to move slow, to listen, to bow at windows like altars. They teach you 100 words for rain. You send them home with mint wrapped in cloth and a new way their hearts measure distance. At last, you realize the shape of your work. Not to choose between Earth and Titan, but to engineer the bridge. In bodies, in rituals, in systems, in stories. You break ground on a new dome that curves more like a shell than a spear, angled to catch the softest light. The name you paint on its airlock is not a number. You call it threshold. Children press their palms to its door and grin. You do too. You were born as an answer. You grew into a question. Now you are a door. Not because you stand open to everything, but because you are shaped by what passes through. Breath, belonging, burden, becoming. Bridges aren't places you stay. They are places you make so others can move. And as you stand beneath rings that have watched ice ages on worlds you will never see, you feel it with clarity of cold air. You were never meant to prove that humans could leave home. You were meant to show how we carry it forward. Rings over a cradle. There is a cradle by a window. The window is thick, patient, the kind that has learned how to hold back vacuum and still let light through with kindness. Beyond it, Saturn hangs, its rings a silver script written on orange sky. In the cradle, a child sleeps. Not you, another. The second human born on Titan breathes with the solemn importance of all small sleepers. Their fingers curl, their lashes twitch, their mouths open slightly as if tasting a word that has not yet been invented. In the glass, your reflection stands beside theirs. Older now, steadier, a scar where polymer once met your glove. Grease at the heel of your palm that refuses to wash out. A badge as valid as any medal. You watch the baby breathe. You count in beats of pump and bell, in memories of breach and repair, in the language your body learned when it made gravity a choice, not a fate. Across the dome, a class of Earth children here on residency press their own hands to another panel, laughing too loudly, and then, sensing the room quieter, one whispers, "It feels like a church." No one corrects them. A gardener clips mints and lays a sprig in a bowl of water near the cradle. An old habit nobody can source and everybody keeps. Clean scent, clean promise. On a shelf rests the book of firsts. A new page waits. First lullaby sung to a second Titan born under clear rings after a late storm. You will write it tonight, handwriting neat, pressure steady. A soft chime, an earth message arriving. You let it wait. Some doors open better when you approach them slowly. You lean close to the window. Outside, Krakenmare is calm, its dark skin reflecting a thin smile of light. Somewhere far off, lightning flickers like a thought changing its mind. You remember your own first steps in a suit, the vow you whispered, "I keep my breath, I keep yours," and realize it was never about oxygen alone. It was about attention, care, the deliberate act of belonging to each other. You place your palm on the glass, not hard, just present. On the other side, cold meets warm and becomes a gradient where a world and a person agree to share a surface. You speak so softly, even you barely hear it. Welcome. The baby does not wake, but the corners of their mouth flicker. Somewhere a pump changes pitch. There is always a pump, always a pitch, and settles back to steady. When you finally turn away, you do not feel the old ache of being singular. You feel the usefulness of being one among many. A strand in a net, a link in a chain, a beam in a bridge called threshold that hums with footsteps you will never count. Tomorrow, you will recalibrate the gravity chamber for a teenager who wants to try one full Earth hour. Tomorrow, you will add rain words from Recife to the exchange glossary. Tomorrow, you will teach a new cohort how to bow to a window without making worship of it. Tonight, you write rings over a cradle. How the room smelled of mint, how silence sounded like safety, how the second breath on Titan braided into the first, how home is not the place you left, but the place you keep together. You close the book and exhale. Saturn keeps its vigil. Titan keeps its hush. And somewhere on a blue world you have not touched, a child looks up, traces a finger in the air, and draws a circle for a planet, and a thin bright line for a ring. They do not know they've just drawn your sky. They will. They will come, they will go, they will return, and the bridge will hold. Tell us before you sleep where in the world you are listening from. What sky did you look at today? Type it in the comments. Let a stranger far away know they are less alone. Because tonight, a human newborn dreams under Saturn's rings. And somewhere on Earth, under rain or neon, another human answers without knowing why. Yes, we are the same species. We are learning how to be at home in more than one sky.